Ladies and gentlemen, special wild card impromptu show. We got a good show coming up in 81 minutes about spiritual protection rackets. I just felt moved to jump on here and talk just briefly about biblical diet. I have the right to remain silent, but unfortunately, I lack the ability. I shouldn't really come on and talk about this because it's probably just going to tick people off, but I noticed it and I have to share it because I think it leads some wisdom and it takes away some of the spiritual what's the right word, where you can point your finger at superiority of certain people with certain views. And the old view and the view that is accepted now is that the vegan, the vegetarian diet is morally superior because it is more biblical. And generally, Genesis chapter 1 is pointed to as proof of that. And I want to, and of course, coming to you live from an undisclosed location deep in the heart of American flyover country, under the radar, but over the top as always. I want to take a look at this and let's see, pardon me, why I can't find my mute button, number one. Let's see what it really says. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a vegan. I'm not saying you shouldn't be a vegetarian. I'm just saying you shouldn't be an ass if you are, at least not for some of the reasons that you have been, because check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is Genesis 1:29 and 30 is what we're going to look at. And it's a specific command by the Elohim regarding the human diet. And it says, and the Elohim said, behold, we've given you every, and this is interesting for those of you that think that you weren't supposed to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You weren't supposed to eat from the tree of life. He said, every herb yielding seed, every tree that's on the face of the earth. Was the Garden of Eden on the face of the earth? What you believe was the Garden of Eden? Yeah, it was. Was that tree in the Garden of Eden? Yeah. Was that tree on the face of the earth? Then every tree, including those two, were given to us originally for meat. It was given to us to eat, ladies and gentlemen, for food. Okay? Now, watch this. When you go into verse number 30, it's rendered terribly in the King James. So I'm not even going to show you what the King James says. I'm just going to show you what it says here in the original Hebrew. See how this says and to every, because that is translated from translators and they blew it. Because well, Jeff, how do you know they blew it? Because I can read. Watch this. And to every. What does the word really mean? It means the whole, all. So how this should read is, I gave you all of the trees. I gave you all of the herbs. I gave you all of the green stuff to eat. And if we translate it literally, and I gave you the whole, and I gave you all the beasts of the earth. Rut-row, raggy. I gave you all the beasts of the earth. I gave you all the birds of the air. I gave you everything that creeps. I don't know why you'd want to eat it, but it says I gave you everything that creeps on the face of the earth. Everything which has breath and life in it. So don't eat dead stuff. It's what it actually says. And I've given you all of the green herbs too. And it was so. So, ladies and gentlemen, biblically speaking, the Elohim, the gods and goddesses, male and female, gave us every herb on the face of the earth, every tree on the face of the earth, every seed on the face of the earth for food. And they gave us all the whole, every beast, every bird, everything that creeps on the earth, everything that is alive, everything that's not dead, all of it, including the green herbs, have been given to us for food. I didn't write it. I'm just the mailman. I just bring the report. Now, I'm not saying you can't be vegan. I'm not saying you can't be vegetarian. If your convictions say that you should be vegan, then by all means, be vegan. If your convictions say that you should be vegetarian, well, then by all means, be vegetarian. Just don't be pointing your finger at those that choose not to be vegan and those that choose not to be vegetarian, bringing an erroneous biblical argument. That's all I'm saying. See, I do have the right to remain silent. I do lack the ability. I should have just let this lie, but for some reason, I couldn't. So there you go. And I knew it. It's already starting in the chat room. If you want to be vegan, be vegan. If you want to be vegetarian, be vegetarian. But there's no scripturally based moral superiority in it. Sorry to bust your bubble. Sorry to take you down a notch in your patting yourself in the back for being uber spiritual. All I'm saying is, if you want to be it, be it. Just don't be a dick to the rest of the people that choose to see it differently than you do. And don't yell at me. Don't argue with me. Don't be mean to me. I didn't write it. If the mailman brings you a letter from your girlfriend that says she's breaking up with you, do you get mad at the mailman? If the mailman brings you a letter from your boyfriend that says he's sleeping with another woman, do you get mad at the boyfriend or the mailman? You get mad at the boyfriend, right? That's what the Elohim said. Yes, Mark Center saying it was the Elohim that said it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I felt like I had to come on here and start a fight, but I did. I just don't like the idea of people pointing fingers at other people. So if you want to lick your tofu off your fingers and point your fingers at somebody, think twice. If you want to lick the barbecue sauce off your finger and point your finger at somebody else, think twice. Eat what you want to eat. Be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. Feel free to share the efficacy of it. I'm talking to you about how great it is for you to submerge into cold water. But I'm not telling you you're going to hell or you're a bad person or an evil person if you don't do it. I'm just saying I think it would help you. Be the same way with diet. Be what you want to be. Represent what you want to be. And just don't be mean to people that don't see it your way. I'll be back a little bit later with a real show. We're going to talk about spiritual protection rackets inside the church and inside the truth movement. Interesting, huh? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Be your own guru, guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, ask questions, question answers. Sometimes it gets you in trouble. I like what Mod Wiz 125 just said. As a vegetarian for 30 years and enjoy the benefits in peace and quiet. Let each find peace in their own fashion. I love it. I love it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, hoping to lead you to some information that you might find helpful to use to unindoctrinate yourself.